Right now, someone's trying to open a checking account on your mobile application. Someone else is trying to redeem points from a rewards program your team spent millions launching. Some will succeed, but many won't. And by the time your team understands why, those customers are already gone. Today, understanding why requires stitching together tons of different information across different technologies and teams. Things like traditional analytics, legacy session replay, error logs, support tickets, and many other things. And in working with banks like JP Morgan Chase, Capital One, US Bank, BMO, M&T, and so many others, we've learned something very important. Banks do not have a data problem. They have a speed to understanding problem. And that comes at a cost. Quantum Metric captures hundreds of behavioral signals across every customer interaction in real time. And Felix, our agentic solution, allows teams to understand those behavioral signals in natural language. With me today is Brian, who will walk you through how Quantum Metric can take insight into action.
Thanks, Dan. So whether you want to do fantastic analysis or power AI or break down the silos between the teams that Dan was talking about, it starts with fantastic data. And the data in Quantum Metric is this. This is not a GIF. It's not a movie. This is a recording of an actual user session trying to open an account. We capture just with a simple tag every single user session so that you can look at one, you can look at many, and you can power incredible analyses. It's real time, and you can pipe it into the call center so that if somebody's calling in, you can give it to a chatbot so that the analysis can be performed for digital containment. And of course, when somebody has an actual problem banging on the next step, like a rage click, that's all captured, every single interaction. But let's take a look at how our teams typically look at these things. Maybe you're an IT executive with teams that are focused on errors, trying to understand and tell stories of the root cause around why certain errors are occurring, if they're impacting users or not. Maybe you're on the business side and you're wondering, you're seeing a trend going down on account openings and you want to know why. Is it one problem? Is it 10 problems? Why are users getting stuck? And then maybe you're the person who's responsible for CSAT and you want to know what are the trends or what's causing this thing. Well, part of the problem is that these teams aren't working together, and telling these stories takes a really, really long time. And at Quantum Metric, we believe this is the area that's ripe for innovation. Teams often spend hours, days, and even a couple of weeks telling what happened after an event, what happened after a problem. And we think the future is AI agents running expert, not only in Quantum Metric, but in your business, in your vertical, focused on different areas of the business. So you could have somebody looking at CSAT, you could have somebody looking at the trends behind it, the verbatims, what the scores are, and what's causing impact to the business. So how do we get there? It starts with a chat, potentially, just coming in and asking a question like, I see CSATs going down. Why? Why is a question that's high level and vague, but it seeks to break down those barriers. And this agent doesn't take my question for granted. First, it kicks off a process to see if what I'm asking is even happening. And then when it verifies that, yep, CSAT's in fact down, it then hands it off to a bunch of specialist sub-agents, some looking at search, some looking at errors, some looking at performance issues and core web vitals, and it comes back to paint that picture. So let's just skip ahead a little bit in the story. And what's happening here is I'm just kind of having a conversation with this data. First thing it says is high level, you got some errors, you got some page load issues, and it's causing friction. Okay, that's kind of cool, but let me drill in a little bit. I say, hey, put this together into a table. Tell me what friction is happening and where. And it starts to tell me, what, you got some rage clicks in your credit history area. Well, that's interesting. Let me go off and drill in. Tell me more about the rage clicks. And I start to see that the rage clicks are happening on the next step button there, and it's gone way up in the last couple of days. And so now I'm saying, all right, cool. Can you actually show me what that looks like? And sure enough, I go ahead and it gives me a link to the session. And I'm off and running again, analyzing the fact that I've got this rage click problem, and I can see what a problem it is from a high level. Now, this is exactly the kind of thing that I want to do on a routine basis. Every day, if it's a critical time in my environment, I want to have an analyst telling me what's going on, correlating verbatims to scores and to the reasons why, so that I get this analysis that usually takes a really long time in my inbox or in Slack to me every single day or at the timing of my choice. So I asked the agent, create a background agent for me, put it all together, email it to me every day. And it does that. It starts to come up with the plan, comes up with the data, the queries that it thinks it's going to need at its fingertips to put this all together for me. And it even floats together an HTML kind of template that it's going to fill out at the story. And so I have a conversation, and within, a few prompts, I've got this, and not just a report, but an analysis showing where the verbatim trends are and how they're related to scores and my business impact. So you can imagine our analysts are spending all this time. I'm now taking a 2-week process and I'm condensing it into an overnight run that's telling me what are the specific trends that are impacting scores and giving me even links to those session replays that I can verify. And I get the good, I get the very bad, I get the specific system errors, anything I want specifically that I want, and overall trends. So you can see at Quantometric, we're not only trying to provide you with powerful data, we're trying to take processes that are incredibly important and impactful, but are really, really laborious and time consuming, and automating those and putting the results at your fingertips. So if you're curious, you can come see us at the booth. We're right over there, and we'd love to talk to you. Thank you very much.